So this week has been such an interesting week because we started the week out on the number seven, right? The day, the seventh month, the seventh day. And some people were even, breaking down the 2025, adding the two and the five and saying, well, that's a seven also. So this week had a lot of strong seven energy. And it just got me to thinking about the number seven, how it's such a mystical and spiritual number. And just unique in the way how it's one of those numbers that we use all the time, right? Some of the spiritual and more mystical, I guess, significance of the number seven is that it is a sacred number. It's seen as a number of divine order, wisdom, and spiritual awakening. Even in the Bible, God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh, just giving us a 7-day week, right? And spiritually, on a more spiritual aspect, you have the seven chakras, the seven main chakras in the human body, signifying that energy body, right? The human energy body. And then if we look at it from an astrological perspective, there's seven main planets, right? There's the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. So, of course, we have other planets and other star systems and things like that. But when you're talking just, the core planets, it would be seven. And I find it to be just a very interesting number. Of course, it is a prime number, so that means that it can't be divided evenly by any number other than the number one. So that also gives it a very interesting kind of uniqueness as well. But then there's also how we have kind of label things, and seven always comes up. There's the seven wonders of the world. There's the seven continents, seven seas, 7 days of the week. We mentioned that. And then a lot of times seven is seen as like a lucky number, right? So yeah, I just find that the number seven is a very unique number and worthy of just kind of digging into on a more esoteric, more spiritual perspective. Yeah. And for me, y'all, like, I'm always doing the numbers. I'm a numbers person. So it was very interesting to me because I did something on 7/7, and when I did the math, it was the time that I did it. I did something, that I don't normally do it, and it recorded the time. I wasn't paying attention to the time. Lo and behold, the time also equaled 7/7. So it just got me to thinking. And then it was on that same day that Uranus transited into Gemini. Uranus, by the way, having a 7-year orbit. Even spiritually, y'all, there is like a 7-year time frame for how long it takes for one to be able to be cleared of their karma, their karmic debt. But that's also reflected in the real world, because we know, at least in the Western world, it takes 7 years for you to have something, a negative hit on your credit report. If you don't pay it, or, if it's just sitting there, it'll sit there for 7 years. So again, 7 years to clear your physical debt. So there's just something about that number seven. What do y'all think?